News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Thousands gather in Helena to protest Donald Trump. And there were 7 buses from Missoula alone. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning. Here it is Monday, January 23rd, 2017. We have dense fog in Missoula right now, freezing fog. We have 23 degrees. Roads around the area, we have primarily intermittent snowpack in all directions coming in and out of Missoula. So there is a winter weather advisory until 11 o'clock this morning because of the fog and the road conditions. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Bulls Eyewear, Missoula's only certified master optician on South Reserve. Give them a call, 552-1299. Despite below freezing temperatures, thousands of people attended a march and rally in Helena in answer to President Donald Trump's inauguration. Organizers estimated between 5,000 and 10,000 attended the event Saturday. Many were dressed snugly with ski and stocking hats and winter coats against the cold. The event included songs and speeches, including one by First Lady Lisa Bullock. There were many signs, including one that read, "A woman's place is in the House and Senate." Trump, of course, was sworn in on Friday. Before the event, Democrat Senator Jon Tester sent a YouTube video message of encouragement to the marchers of Montana to hold the new administration accountable to the issues they care about.
One thing they need to bring to the table is no discrimination. Make sure that women are treated with respect, get paid equal pay for the work that they do. Make sure that they're not discriminated against in the doctor's office by charging more for their premiums than they do for men.
One of the Missoula residents who rode on the 7 buses that traveled to Helena Saturday was Sue Orr. She pointed out the worldwide scope of the protests.
Millions marched across the world, and it's going to be an interesting 4 years. People are waking up out of their slumber that somebody else is going to take care of this, and they realize that we need to copy what the Tea Party did, and people are starting to do that. The Tea Party created Mr. Trump. And we're going to take a page out of that book and get active, get involved, and make the change so that the next election, the results are a little different.
The Tea Party became organized after the election of Barack Obama to influence change from a grassroots level. Washington, D.C. is a long way from Montana, but there were a number of people from the Big Sky State on the National Mall during Donald Trump's inauguration on Friday. Will Dayshaw from Missoula was in the crowd, and he said the event was the type of pomp and circumstance one would expect.
It's a testament to what keeps us as the United States as long and as strong as we've been. It was very, very well attended. There were lots and lots of people. I don't have a count. And there were protesters, obviously, but I'll tell you, they were not in our face. They had a loud voice, but other than that, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary that you'd see at something like that.
Many prominent state officials met on the eve of the inauguration with many of the Montanans who turned out for the event.
Congressman Zinke had a kind of a cocktail party and hors d'oeuvres for people from Montana, and that was at a place called The Loft. And it was fairly well attended. It was down in Chinatown, so there were a lot of Montana people there, and that was fun. And Senator Dane showed up. Attorney General Tim Fox was there. It was a lot of fun.
According to Dayshaw, there was much excitement from the Montana delegation about Zinke's expected confirmation as Interior Secretary. Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arnson says some Montana student test data submitted to the U.S. Education Department before she took office were falsified and out of compliance. Arnson said the data didn't meet state and federal reporting standards and misrepresented student proficiency. However, her predecessor, Democrat Denise Juneau, told lead newspapers of Montana Arnson was misconstruing the issue and, quote, jumping to conclusions, end quote. Arnson said the issue could put federal funding for Montana schools at risk. Juneau said she doubted federal officials will put any funding for the state. And in another story regarding Ms. Arnson, the new state superintendent of public instruction says she hasn't decided yet whether her office will continue the Graduation Matters Montana program, which gives private grant money to communities for projects that encourage students to graduate from high school. Last week, Office of Public Instruction spokesman Dylan Klappmeyer sent an email to the Ravalli Republic saying the program was being phased out. A few days later, Superintendent Elsie Arnson said no decision had yet been made. Last Tuesday, Sheriff's Office Chaplain Lowell Hochhalter and a number of other law enforcement professionals presented 2 assemblies on youth suicide at the Seeley Lake Elementary School, one for the school children, another for the parents. Later that evening, Hochhalter said both assemblies were an absolute success.
People they came out, And to be honest with you, it's probably the greatest, student-to-parent ratio turnout that we've ever had anywhere in the nation. And so that gives a lot of hope. And the conversation started, and it was emotional in all the right ways.
Oakhalter related just one conversation with the father of one of the students who attended the school assembly.
My kid came home from school and was crying and wanted to sit down with my wife and I and to explain to us that these are some of the feelings that they were having. And then he said we should talk about these things. And he said, so that's why I'm here tonight, because my kid was so excited about what he heard. And he says, after leaving tonight, I realized that we need to do a better job. We need to talk about these things.
You can listen to the podcast of the Talkback program featuring youth suicide that directly related to that assembly on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Missoula police arrested a driver early Friday after witnessing a vehicle swerving on Brook Street. Missoula Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
Just before 12:30 a.m., officers encountered a vehicle traveling into oncoming traffic near the intersection of Brook Street and South Avenue. When the officers initiated an investigation, they discovered that the driver, who's identified as Franklin Eastman, appeared to be intoxicated.
The original police report refers to the suspect as a female who told the officers her name was Frankie Ginger Eastman, and the person was wearing a dress. However, the driver's license identified him as 48-year-old Franklin Corbin Eastman. Eastman had been arrested for DUI several times before.
He was subsequently arrested for his fourth or subsequent DUI. It also was revealed that he had a suspended or revoked driver's license, and he was subsequently held on that charge as well.
And because more than 3 DUIs equals a felony. Authorities say they've arrested 2 people following a high-speed chase that began north of Helena and ended when a vehicle crashed. The Independent Record reports deputies began chasing 2 vehicles Saturday night with speeds reaching up to 130 miles per hour. Lewis and Clark County Under Sheriff Jason Grimace said the 2 suspects were arrested after their Honda Accord spun out and crashed. The driver was a minor. The other occupant was a Great Falls man suspected in a break-in 3 weeks ago. Both suspects are expected to appear in court in Helena today. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Areas of freezing fog this morning with occasional flurries. Daytime highs will warm into the upper 20s. Tonight, a chance of snowfall with our overnight lows in the low teens. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.